Today, we're going to learn how to make these easy no-sew crochet flip-flops. The materials that we'll be using for this is a 4mm crochet hook and gloss DK weight yarn. This was provided by We Crochet. For those who wonder if you can use a worsted weight yarn, yes you can. You'll just need to get like a thinner version of a worsted weight yarn, like the Bravo worsted weight. You can find that down in the description box below. And if you do use worsted weight, your strap will probably be a little bit higher, and we'll have to shorten the strap that goes around. I also have these little gems that I purchased from the Dollar Tree and just hot glue gunned on. And you'll also need a button, but if you do not have a button, I'll teach you how to create your own button at the very end. All right, so let's hop into this pattern. We're going to begin by attaching our yarn and chaining one. We're going to start with 30 single crochets going across the first strap and 30 single crochets going across the second strap. Let me show you how those single crochets will look. You'll go under the strap, pull up a loop, and pull through two. So you're going to do that all the way across the straps for a total of 60 single crochets. And if you run out of room, you can always push your single crochets up and down your strap. So pause your video here and I'll meet you at the completion of your 60. All right, once you completed all your single crochets, you're just going to fasten off your work. So now we're just going to turn our flip-flop, and what we're going to do next, we're going to attach our yarn to the 10th stitch from the very end of your work. So I already have a stitch marker in mind. So let me insert my hook. What we're going to do is chain 7 once your yarn is attached. One, let me get my things ready. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to be working some extended treble crochets together. Since these names can be a mouthful, I'm just going to call it by its wrap name. So for the very next stitch, we're going to wrap the yarn 7 times. Before you do, make sure your loop is pulled tight on your hook. Trust me, you'll thank me later, right here. And for these wraps, you don't have to wrap too tight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Hold on to those wraps, and we're going to skip 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and insert your hook into that next stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop. This is going to be worked just like a normal treble crochet by yarning over and pulling through 2 loops. We're going to do this until there's 2 loops left on your hook. So let me demonstrate. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You're going to keep pulling through 2 until there's 2 loops left on your hook. Oh, I got 2 loops left on my hook. So next we're going to move on to the next wrap. We are going to wrap 9 times. Make sure that loop is pulled tight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Once again, we're going to skip 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Insert your hook into that next stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Once again, we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 several times until you have, I believe, 3 loops left on your hook this time. Here we go, almost to the top. 3 loops left on your hook, and you're going to stop. Now, this time, we're going to skip 4 stitches, and we're going to wrap 9 times again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Skip those 4 stitches. See if I got it right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Insert your hook into the next. And remember, we're just going to do those wraps all over again until there are 4 loops left on your hook. Yarn over, keep pulling through 2. If you ever find me moving too fast, you can pause this video. We have 4 loops left on a hook. All right, we're going to move over to the next one, and this will be a 9 wrap. So let's wrap 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Skip 8 stitches. Can you guys see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And place the stitch into the next. until there are 5 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on my hook. We are going to wrap the yarn 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once again, skip 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Insert your hook into that next stitch and start your yarn overs until you have 6 loops left on your hook. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's a lot of loops. Now you have all your loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all the loops on your hook and chain 1. We're going to be working the next few stitches into 1 stitch, so I like to make this a little bit more secure. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go behind the first chain here, push up and back behind the second. Up, it's like I'm weaving my crochet hook up and back between all of these. Once you have that, I want you to yarn over and pull through all those loops. Yarn over and pull through those 2 loops left on your hook. So now this is going to be a more secure stitch to work into. So for I guess row number 3, we're going to chain 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There we go, 17 stitches. I'm going to turn my work. This 17 counts as a stitch plus 3. I don't know what's the name of that specific stitch. So for the next stitch, we are going to wrap 10 times around your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And remember what that stitch we made when we worked into right here? That's what we're going to be working into. Let's see if I can give you a good angle. It's right here. It kind of looks like a single crochet. That is the stitch that we're going to be working to at the very base of your work, and you're going to start your extended treble crochets like normal. But this time we're going to pull through all 2 stitches all the way to the end until you have 1 loop left on your hook. It is not like last time. So keep pulling through all 2 until you have 1 hook loop left on your hook. So for the next one, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to wrap 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to go back into that same stitch that we worked before and complete. Keep yarning over until you have only 1 loop left on your hook. There we go. All right, and we're going to chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3. For the next one, we are going to yarn over 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Back into that same stitch. It can be hard to see, but make sure you keep going back into the exact same stitch. Remember, until there's 1 loop left on your hook. All right, we got this one. Let me make sure where I am. We have the chain 10, 9, 9. All right, for your next stitch, you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And this time, we're going to wrap 10 times again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back into that same stitch. Keep yarning over and pull through 2. If I'm moving too fast, you can always pause the video. Now chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to match this very long strap on the opposite end. We are going to wrap 12 times this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Ooh, that's a lot. Find that stitch and let's work into it. Okay, and don't worry if you have little loose spots like that. We'll tighten them up when we finish going around the strap. So now we're going to begin working the straps that go around the ankle right here. I am chaining 10. Let me adjust my camera. Ooh. I am chaining 10 to get around my ankle. So that's halfway. That would meet back here. If your ankle is larger or smaller, chain as many as it takes to get to the back of your ankle. So for me, like I said, I'm chaining 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm pulling that loop long. So right now, let me turn this around. I am going to attach a piece of yarn to this side and chain 10. So I'm going to pause the video here and get my yarn ready so I can attach my yarn. Here's where we left off. This is my working yarn where we just did the chain 10. And now we're going to attach a matching strap on the opposite side. What I'm using is just the very opposite end of the same skein of yarn. So to do that, we're going to find that last extended treble crochet, not your chain, but your last worked extended treble crochet. Find the top of that stitch. For me, it's easy to find the stitch because it's always looser than all the rest of them. So here is that extended, and we're going to count over 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that is where we're going to attach our yarn. And chain 10, or the matching number that you did on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let me give another to fasten off my work. So now you have matching straps on both sides. So let's continue our work on the opposite side of our shoe where the working yarn is. So let's flip that over. I placed 10 chains on this side, so we're going to do a turning chain. Chain 1, turn your work. We're going to single crochet. Ooh, it's so tricky. We're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. 1, 2, second chain from the hook, and in each stitch across. So you can pause your video here, keep placing single crochets until you make it into your first extended treble crochet, and I want to teach you a trick to pick up these saggy stitches. We've made it to that very first extended treble crochet. What I was talking about, the saggy stitches, because if you watch me work into this stitch right here, this bottom is still a little saggy and I don't like the way that looks. So my little trick for this, instead of working into that stitch, I just work into the space next to it and it picks up that sag. But just make sure you don't work into that stitch again and just continue placing single crochets in each chain all the way across. See, it just completely picks up the sag of that. Like I said, when you work under it, it'll pick up that sag, it'll pick up that sag. So pause your video here, continue placing single crochets all the way across your work, and I'll meet you at the other side. Once you make it to the very end of the work, you're just going to chain 1, turn your work, and we're just going to repeat that. We're going to single crochet all the way across for the next 3 rows. So pause your video here and continue adding 3 more rows of single crochet, and I'll meet you there. We've made it to the very end of our work. So what we're going to do now is chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be the buttonhole, and slip stitch into the very other corner. And fasten off your work. You're going to start your button by chaining 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Slip stitch into that very first chain to form a ring. Once you have your ring, you're going to chain 1, Now we're going to place 6 single crochet into the ring. So pause your video here and continue with your 6 single crochets. Once you have those 6 single crochets, you're not going to slip stitch to join. You are just going to single crochet over top of the previous rows, not into the stitch, but back into that circle over top of the previous single crochets. By doing this over and over, you create a cute little buttonhole. Let me show you what it looks like after I finish this single crochet. You flip it to the other side, it starts to create a little circle going all the way around. So continue with those single crochets until it forms the perfect little button. Then you can fasten off your work. Oh, let me show you one more thing. You'll just attach the button to the very end of your slipper and you're all done.